Do a net search on fertility gods. The list goes from A, with gods such as Asaseya, earth goddess of the Ashanti people in what is now Ghana, to Z, Ziwia, fertility god in the region of what is now Slovakia. Adahintsa, Kokopali, Pachamama, goddess of the Andes, Freya, who English speakers still celebrate on the day that we call Friday, Bonkamundi, Brigid, Parvati, Pelonpeko, Oster, which many celebrate in a festival called Easter, Rananicha, Walunqa, the indigenous Australian god of the rain. Some of these gods emerge from sand, some from rocks, and some from ice and snow. But all of them move from the dark to the light, from parched to refreshed, from sterile to fecund, down to up, and dead to alive. These gods and the celebrations of them this time of year reminds us that morning comes. Light comes out of the darkness. Spring comes. They remind us that life can go on. Now, I come from down at the confluence of the Ohio and Mississippi rivers. It's flooding badly down there just now. And where I come from, the topsoil is thick, and therefore the mud in early spring is really deep this time of year. Tractors and trucks will sink up to their axles, and you can't get them out until it starts drying out. Animals are up to their bellies in mud. I have quite literally sunk up to my waist and had to leave my boots behind and crawled out of the mud. It's time to stay on solid ground if you're a farmer and sharpen up those tools and get ready. Early spring is not pretty. There's that melting gray snow. There's the mud and the death and the life. Out walking this time of year, you run across the carcasses of animals that died in the cold and haven't rotted yet. If you step on a snake, it won't slither away because it's too cold. This time of year reminds me of the words of one of my favorite authors, Jennifer Michael Hecht. She wrote a book, Doubt, that many of you know. She wrote, "We live in a meaning rupture because we are human and the universe is not. We live in a meaning rupture because we are human and the universe is not." Now that's the beauty of giving the gods human emotions and human characteristics. We can understand the gods, and they understand us, and therefore we have an understandable human universe. We understand their emotions and their actions. They understand our need for meaning and purpose. In that case, there's no meaning rupture. And it's a nice worldview if you can get it. But many of us do not believe in those gods. So I've been meditating on what Jennifer Michael Hecht claims, that we are human and the universe is not. At first blush, her words ring true. But as Professor Hecht knows quite well, the fact is that we aren't human either. Not in the way that we often think we're human. Yes, we have amazing imaginations, and we can imagine grand and wonderful things like the gods who love us, gods who build universes that care about us, and gods who think that we are special. When we go down that path, we can think we human beings are unique in the universe, and we begin to be bitter because our uniqueness just isn't appreciated. Yet, we heal that meaning rupture when we realize that the rupture is not a meaning rupture at all. It is an expectation rupture, an entitlement rupture, a rupture handed to us by misdirected religions. We heal that rupture by learning the hard truth about ourselves. We are self-domesticated primates. We are animals with expansive imaginations, but limited means, limited lifespans, limited strength, limited ability to fulfill our dreams. When we look at it from that direction, we begin to see the more realistic worldview of religious naturalism, pantheism as it has been known for millennia. This, here, now, it's what we've got, folks. Human imagination is a wonderful thing, but when it sets us humans up for lifelong disappointment, well, then it kind of sucks. Here's the truth as closely as I can manage to figure it out. We are the muddy fields. We are the swell of the flowers and the weeds struggling up in springtime. We are the flowers, yes, but also the corpses of the fawns that froze to death in the snow. Yes, we are all of that. Every molecule of me and you and this entire universe, all of us are the flowers and the beauty and the flies that feed on the fawn's corpse in the raw wind. In the essay, Professor Hecht mentions some things that disappoint us about this universe. For one, there doesn't appear to be any justice. The rain falls on the just and the unjust in equal measure. The universe also doesn't reward our hard work. Remember Shelley's poem about that great king, quote, "My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, in despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away." Yeah, it all ends in dust. When I start admiring my big, huge, great problems, and I struggle with depression too, so, big problem. I'm so depressed. I try to remind myself that we're only here for a short time. One of the only wise things I think that President Woodrow Wilson ever said, he wasn't really all that good at that sort of thing, but he said one thing that I hold true. It is, the graveyards are full of indispensable people. I try to remind myself when I think my problems are huge and insurmountable. The graveyards are full of indispensable people. Wilson was right about that. We are here such a short time. We had better not take ourselves quite so seriously. And when we go, we will hope we have made this world a little bit better in the time we had. The universe is not human because we aren't human either, at least not in that simple way. We are the sky and the wind, the ruffled fur on a dead animal, the cold air that hits those newborns. The universe is not human, but the human is the universe. We know the universe quite well, actually. We are responsible to each other because this old world is not all that kind all the time. As the Kentucky poet Wendell Berry wrote, the possibility of this return returns again to the sea, the dark, the long wait, and the light again. It is in that return that we mark our days on this planet, and that is what we celebrate in our rites of spring. The German poet Rainer Maria Rilke wrote this: "Earth, isn't this what you want? To arise in us invisible? Is it not your dream to enter us so wholly There's nothing left outside us to see. What, if not transformation, is your deepest purpose? Earth, my love, I want that too. Believe me, no more of your springtimes are needed to win me over. Even one flower is more than enough. Before I was named, I belonged to you. I seek no other law but yours, and know I can trust the death that you will bring. So may it be.